So we talked about the contact leading, swipe or smear, wipe and smudge. They are the types of transfer blood stains. The transfer blood stains, they are formed once a wet and bloody surface comes in contact with a secondary surface. So example was given. Then okay, so example which I shared was the fingerprint being transferred from if your say finger is bloody, so that blood pattern is being transferred from your fingers to another surface. Then swipe pattern, the transfer of blood surface not already contaminated with blood. So, swipe pattern is say for on a surface which is clean and the side is one side is feathered, like if you try to swipe blood, then it will show you the direction that from which direction to which direction it was tried to be swiped. Then if there is smear pattern. Smear is say for it is self-explanatory word that if there is you cannot there is a large volume of blood which has been distorted so much that further classification is not possible. So smear pattern comes into that. There are two types, if you say. First one is arterial spurt. Arterial spurt, if you can see my screen, this is the wavy pattern formed. Arterial spurt. Say for if someone tries to slice the neck of another person, of the victim, but the victim tries to run. So due to the pumping of blood from heart, there will be force from the heart and blood will be thrown, say for from the cut region of the neck, from where the neck is being cut. So it is called arterial spurt. So this in this case, if you see, neck was sliced, then to the victim tries to escape, and these are the staircases from where the victim tried to run and save his life. And this is the force of blood. Then it comes down. You see the P. So this is one example of arterial spurt. Then there is cast of stains. Like if I'm using a knife and I try to cut the say for neck of a person, I'm using that knife with a force. So once the blade of the knife comes into contact with the skin, say for neck, it will cut the neck and there will be some blood related on it. But suppose the moment not stop there, it will move forward. I will move my hand forward after cutting the neck. So that moment, once like the stroke, if the weapon will be like going to another direction with a force, in between the neck is sliced, the blood is transferred on the blade of the knife, and then it is moved with the force. This is the force, like this hammer was struck on an object or say for on a body. Now there is blood. Now little blood is transferred from the body to the object. Now it has been moved to the other direction with the force. And the blood was deposited on this surface once it hit the body of the person. This in the opposite movement will throw little blood and it can be found on walls at the crime scene. You see, at this, if you see the second example, it is a direction of a bullet. Bullet is entering to the body. This is the body, the forehead. This will be the entry wound. Bullet will penetrate from here. It will cause a little back spatter. Like once this vessels will be ruptured, there will be some losing of blood. And since the bullet is moving with a high velocity, the back spatter you can note it is a little more. And once it comes out of the body with velocity, with a high velocity, this is the spatter which is formed. That's why we said that with high velocity impacts, you will get more of small, tiny blood droplets associated with the main blood stain pattern. Now, impact spatter. We were talking about the impact spatter. So, blood stain pattern created when a blood source receives a blow force resulting in random depression of smaller drops of blood. That is impact spatter. It can be subdivided into low velocity, medium velocity, and high velocity. Say, if you're hitting someone with hammer or hitting a blood source with hammer, you can see the spatters. If say this is a butcher knife, this area is the where the butcher cuts the chicken. You can see density. You can see here the density is less with low velocity impact. It is little higher in medium velocity, and it is really high in high velocity impacts. So looking at the spatter formation, you can say whether low velocity, medium velocity, or high velocity impact was used to create injuries which caused these blood spatters. Then direction of blood stain. We also study that what was the direction a blood stain was traveling at the time when it impacted the surface. So it indicates or relates the path droplet followed at the time of impacted the target. जब भी वो टच हुआ सरफेस को ब्लड गिर के तो वो इस डायरेक्शन में मूव कर रहा था. So 90 degree, you will get completely circular uh, blastings with little satellite or spikes droplets around. So the small droplets around the main circular stain pattern, it is called as satellite stains. Direction of travel, in this case, you can say the tailing. Tailing give you the direction of travel.